The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Let's move on to the main event, fellas. In the light heavyweight division, we had your challenger, Alex Pereira, defeating Magomed Ankalaev by TKO to regain the light heavyweight championship. All three of us had Ankalaev. This was the tale of two fights. I know it wasn't much to say about this fight. Pereira out the gate put the pressure on Ankalaev. Ankalaev didn't look like the Ankalaev we've seen the past 2 years, and he landed that right overhand that caused Ankalaev to shoot the takedown, but Pereira stuffed it and got him out of there with that ground and pound, and that was all she wrote on your new champion, Alex Pereira. What are your thoughts on this one, Haymaker?
Yeah, quick fight, man. Like you said, it wasn't the Ankalaev we're used to seeing, but it kind of showed that Alex had a good game plan coming in. I don't know if they watched tape and learned this or it was just a new strategy, but Alex putting that heavy pressure on him, having him, fight backwards really worked out. I mentioned it in the first, the pre-show, they tried saying that Alex was injured in the first fight, maybe it was true now after seeing that. I don't know. Or was this a good game plan? Now, I was just scrolling like 10 minutes ago and something popped up and they're trying to say Ankalaev had a broken rib coming into this fight. So I don't know. I don't know if it's all excuses. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you noticed after the fight or if you've heard Ankalaev's right before they announced the winner, Ankalaev's corner was saying something to Alex's team about a trilogy fight, and Glover Teixeira said no. So Alex's team isn't interested in a trilogy fight just yet. So I don't know what they want, but it's definitely not the third fight that they want next.
What are your thoughts on this one, Steve?
A total wiped out his opponent, man. Came in there serious. We saw he was focused. Was up in his face right in the moment, and it was reflexive to where you knew he was ready to be up in there. And based off of what you guys said, after winning like that and getting your win back, I wouldn't say a justification for a trilogy. But like I said, man, the fight was too short to really analyze anything from the second fight other than that Pierre got it done. And even if it was the rib, the fight wasn't long enough or wasn't too many things done for the rib to have a factor. He got him pretty good with that hook and got him out of there. And like I said, if all three of us picked Ankalaev, that shows that we underestimated him. And like I said, I had to see it after, but because the dang string messed up on me. But I was pretty surprised he did get him out of there by the time I turned it back on. It was quick.
Yeah. So Pierre shows a good job of being able to bounce back from losses, and he did it with the Izzy fight, even though he went up a division after that, and then got another title in another division, and then he bounced back after the last one when most of us thought that Ankalaev would repeat that performance. But with that being said, like depending on the matchup, like I'm not gonna go off and say Pierre's gonna go on this tear because I don't want to be derogatory, but he kind of still is a one-trick pony. He has like one of the deadliest one tricks that there is in the game, because if he touches you, you're going to go to sleep. But we saw in the first Ankalaev that you can neutralize that, especially if you got a good ground game. It's just all about implementing it and not get caught. So yeah, I don't really know. And I know now that he has this win almost kind of like fool's gold. I know it's probably going to be talks about him going up to heavyweight. I don't think that'll be a wise decision for him. But let's talk about some of the other possibilities. Admire, you touched on it earlier. I'm guessing he's turning down the Ankalaev fight, but I think that might be the best fight you could put on the trilogy. But it doesn't sound like his team wants that, and I guess especially for immediate rematch. But like I said earlier, somebody probably didn't want to see this happen, and it showed him in the crowd crying. Apparently, Yuri Prohaska was crying at the result. I don't know why. I saw the interview. He's like, I was just emotional. Like, it's a weird reaction. So he's lost to Pereira. So most likely he's not going to get the fight with him next because he already lost him twice. So I'm thinking it's going to be probably Oberg next. I don't know. What do you think, Emma? You think it'll be Oberg or maybe heavyweight, which I don't want to see?
I don't know. It just depends on what they get worked out with who. If you remember last year, a lot of the talk was, can they get John Jones and Alex to book a fight together? I hope that's not what they do. That would sell so many pay-per-views. They could get it in before they switched models.
Not to cut you off, or sorry to cut you off. I think they not a light just went off. They're probably rubbing their hands at this result because they could probably hold off to have Alex rest, and then they'll probably try to do that for White House. John Jones versus Pierre, and John Jones will dust him. I don't think it'll be competitive, but they'll hype it up and try to make it. I don't know. Like I said, he does have the deadliest one trick because he could catch John Jones, but I don't see that happening. But maybe they do that, Amir.
Yeah, I mean, it would do huge numbers, but this goes back to, well, if they get rid of the pay-per-view model, who cares how many numbers it really does? But, I mean, I guess the advertising fees are going to go up if they don't have pay-per-views. Either way. But I don't want to see the John Jones-Alex fight because, yeah, the fight does start standing up. John Jones has that reach. He's got size. And let's face it, John Jones can pretty much take anybody down that he wants. So if he doesn't want to stand and strike with Alex, he doesn't have to. John Jones can take him down and do whatever he wants with him. So I really, as cool as the fight would be, is monumental, is big, whatever you want to call it, it ain't going to work. Alex moving up to heavyweight to face anybody else isn't going to work. Anybody in the heavyweight top 10 that would be worth his time to fight is going to do the same thing. They're all going to take him down. Every one of the people, I believe, in the top 10 has some sort of wrestling accolade or background or experience that they get a hold of him, they're going to take him down. So it's not going to be a good experience for him or a good, experiment to go up to heavyweight. So Alex's best bet is stay at light heavyweight and fight whoever they put in front of him, whether it is trilogy with Ankalaev, another Jiri fight, new fighter in Goldberg. They're not going to run Jamal Hill again. Anybody else really doesn't make sense. They could do another Izzy fight if they wanted to. That would do numbers. Izzy doesn't really deserve it, but they do have history.
And they're 1-1 in MMA. So I mean, I don't think it'd have to be like Pierre going down the middleweight because that doesn't even, like you said, it doesn't make sense of Izzy's losing streak right now. But they still got that in the chamber if they wanted to. But I think it might be Oberg or bust at this point because they had Oberg in the crowd. He just came off that win last week in impressive fashion. So I think it's Oberg right now. And then you probably have to circle back around Ankalaev. I don't know. What do you think, Steve?
I think that's what it'll be because Jiri, in his post-fight interview, he said he called out Oberg, but then I think Joe Rogan said somebody said he's projected to be the next in line for the title. So I think that's what's going to happen.
I think in a perfect world, I don't want to see Oberg's next fight be the Pierre fight. I would want to see, like you said earlier, like a contender fight between him and Yuri, and that winner get Pierre. But still, if Yuri would win that, it still have that 2 losses against Pierre. So I don't know how you could justify Yuri getting another match. But I think I do want to see Oberg get one more test, but it looks like he's gonna go straight to the title. So it's either sink or swim for him. But I don't know. Like I said, I just don't see Pierre as this like unbeatable champion, but he's like the most skilled striker in the division, which is fun to watch. And if he catches you, it's over. But we've seen the blueprint of how to beat him. We've seen him get knocked out, even though that was at middleweight. So, and we saw Ankalaev dominate him in that first fight. So, like you said, Am, you don't want to see the excuses of injury, but you think Ankalaev may have been injured?
That's what I've seen a post, but it wasn't really from a credible source. It just said that he had a broken rib coming into this, which I don't know why any fighter would fight with a full-on broken rib. That doesn't make sense. And it didn't look like anything in the fight. I didn't see any indication of a broken rib. I just seen that he was overwhelmed with a flurry of strikes.
Yeah, he got caught in, that was all she wrote. But we'll see. I like Admire, you said, it's still things for him to do at light heavyweight. So I don't want to see him at heavyweight because, like you said, people will just take him down, and I don't think it'll be competitive because as big as he does get when he's not in camp, he's still smaller than a lot of those heavyweights who have to cut to 265. So I know Pierre walks around in the 220s, 230s, but people cutting down from 300 pounds, like that's a whole different game. But we'll see. I think they'll make some fun fights with him going forward. Thank you for checking out this Haymaker Combat Sports segment. This full episode can be found on the Haymaker Combat Sports YouTube page and in audio form on all major podcast platforms. Until next time, peace.